think young people's relationship with the media is really tricky. There was a UN report last year about the way that we demonize young people in the media, and we did some research on that, and we sort of found like 89% of young people felt that the media just had a really negative image of them. So there is like a trust issue there. There's like a bridge that doesn't really exist between young people and sort of traditional news media. And I think it's partly because young people aren't buying newspapers, and so newspapers don't have to cater for young people. So it becomes this kind of chicken and egg situation. Why do you chase after them if they're not going to invest in your product? So I think, like the internet, it's sort of like a new wave. I think media has to kind of catch up with the way the young people engage with it, the way that they watch news and stuff. I know that I sort of was at a meeting with Matt Locke a couple of weeks ago, and he was saying about how Channel 4 are really interested in sort of looking, not just doing research with young people, but looking in spaces where young people interact, about how to find out what young people want and what they're interested in and that kind of stuff. And I think it's that level of kind of being really responsive to young people that's going to work. But I think, young people also have to kind of understand the role of the media in society and how it strengthens our democracy and its role in kind of making a functioning society. So there is a lesson there, I think, for young people in terms of them kind of engaging with the media and seeing its role in a society, whereas I think they don't necessarily understand that. And I think, media studies in school quite often doesn't kind of put that place for young people about understanding the wider context of the media. And I would sort of argue that, the citizenship curriculum is the place where that should happen, because it's about linking media with society as opposed to just understanding media as a function. It's about how media affects our society. So I think it's a two-way thing, that young people need to sort of learn more about the media and understand its role, and the media also needs to sort of think creatively about how it engages with young people. I do think there's a real issue for young people who are disadvantaged, though, and how do you reach them and where do you reach them? It's a really expensive thing, because they don't go to the places where you expect them to go, and they're very hard to reach, and it requires many hours. But I think, there is a challenge there for everyone, not just to drop them off the agenda as well, because they are real drivers of kind of what we found. They're real drivers of social opinion amongst young people. They can really influence their peers. So it's worth the investment. And I would argue that media companies, need to sort of put quite a lot of time into, especially the sort of disadvantaged young people, to kind of help generate some kind of movement around sort of a wider young people kind of mass, I guess.